guys. I really hope my whiteboard doesn't fall and hit me in the head like I did just a second ago. But, anyways, apart from that, my gosh, my voice is bad. But how to know if it's worth it? Okay, kind of can be a hard question sometimes. I just made this smoothie. 1,000, or no, it's like 800, 1,000, but a lot of peanut butter. It looks rancid from the outside, but that's because my blender kind of sucks. But that's okay. The question you should ask yourself to know if it's worth it, right? I mean, I don't know. It's hard to know if something is worth it when you think about like things a lot, right? When you're thinking about like, okay, is it worth it? Is it worth my time? A lot of people will give up because they don't think it's worth it, or like they'll be almost done with their business because they are almost there, but it's not worth it, or whatever it may be, right? Could be the gym, because gym, I mean, it's a long grind to get good and get like a nice physique and all that stuff, and it just takes a bit. But in order to know if it's worth it, and what I do and what plenty of other people do, is they ask themselves one question, right? Not two, not three, not four, just one. Just one, okay? It helps me all the time, and yeah, it just gets the job done. My girlfriend got these glass straws, and my gosh, I'm scared it's gonna break in my mouth. It's not like super bad, but it's just like, I'm just a chicken. But anyways, the one question you should ask yourself: what could it be to make sure something is worth it, worth your time, worth your effort? And you'll look back on it and be like, wow, I really made it in life. And it's pretty simple, pretty standard. One question you should ask yourself: will this make me better? Boom. I hope you guys can read that, because trying to draw on this thing is kind of hard when it's propped up against a pillow. But yeah, that's literally it. All you gotta do. Okay, you can click off the video, you're done. But if you want to know why, and I'll enforce it in your brain on why this question literally can shape your life and make everything different for you, and it's how I made my life infinitely better. How I got such big muscles. Right? Look at these freaking knockers. No, they're a work in progress. We're making them bigger every day. Will this make me better? Right? This comes with everything, like making this protein shake this morning. I have time, and I was like, well, I want to bulk. Will this make me better if I make this? Yes, because I'm getting a lot of nutrients, a lot of micronutrients, because it's fruits and peanut butter and good fats, healthy carbs, healthy protein. And the reason this makes so much sense is we all have a point A, and our point A is where we're at right now. Our point A can be we're sad, we're just kind of foggy, and our brain's just in perpetual sleep mode because we're always scrolling and always surrounded by media. Can be kind of poopy. If you can tell, I made a little poop right there. And then I tried to draw a Dorito, but I gave up, so I just put a triangle. But bad food, all this different stuff. We have a version of ourselves, and that version of ourselves, no matter how much we don't want to admit to ourselves, is not as good as the version we could be, right? There's a version of you like years from now that makes all the right decisions, that goes the extra mile, that wants it bad enough to get from point A to point B. Are you that version of yourself, and are you going to make that version of yourself happen? Okay, so point A, right? If you make, maybe a few rough decisions, and it's kind of going around here and up here and just all around, and sometimes you even go back a little bit, it's hard. But, it's just like a very messy path, right? You're just going everywhere because you're trying to figure out what's right, how to do it yourself, so many different things. And then you finally, you might get there, but that might be 10 plus years from now. That might be 20. That could be more, 30. That, it could be to the point where you only made it halfway. Or no, that's like three quarters of the way. Maybe you only made it halfway because you just weren't locked in, dude. You were running around trying to figure it out, not, being arrogant, being like, oh, okay, well, I don't need advice from other people, all this different stuff. And if you're watching this video, you clearly are taking advice from other people, which good on you. right? And the point A to the point B that could make it better is if, okay, I took that advice from that buddy to help me get a little far. But the one thing is, I tried to figure out macros and I tried to bulk properly, for example, right? And that kind of backfired a little bit. I didn't make it as far as I wanted to. But when I got locked in and I finally, I really focused on the bulk, then I really locked in my macros and I got back on the path. But Friday night, that really got me. My buddies, they were convincing me. It's like, let's go drinking, and then that sets me all the way back here. And it's just like you give yourself resets, and in order to get the fastest results from everything I know, to figure out if something is worth it, is if it'll get me to point B faster. If it'll get me to point B where I want to go, whether it's me looking like frickin' Ronnie Coleman, if I want to get that big. I don't want to get that big. It's probably impossible for me because his genetics are nuts. But you can't say anything's impossible. Take that back, I didn't say that. But the fastest way is to learn from other people, right? Whether you have a business mentor like me, whether you have a fitness coach, whoever you have. There are mindset coaches out there. There are people that teach day trading. Whatever you want to get good at, whether it's fitness, whether it's business, whether it's anything. It helps so much. And I promise you, when you have someone telling you exactly what to do, the only limit is yourself. The only person holding you back is yourself and your brain saying, man, I don't feel like doing it today. But when you have that person to give you that push, I promise, point A to point B, it's going to be relatively close to a straight line, right? You're going to have setbacks. Stuff happens in life. It's never going to be perfectly straight. There's going to be times where you're like, okay, well, I just had a seizure, like me. I had a seizure a while ago, and that really messed up my path. Or you could have a family member pass away. That might set you back. That might give you a little curve in there. There's a lot of different things that play factor, but relatively close. You can have a line closer to this, which looks a lot better than this, dude. And all you need to do is just take advice from people, be coachable, be humble, all of these different things. It'll get you to point B so much faster, right? And you can start having less of this, right? This guy, a little sad, he's a little chunky, all this stuff, eating bad foods, which in turn bad habits, brain fog, dizzy, his brain is just sleeping because all the time he just goes to the couch and he watches TikTok and scrolls all the time, right? And overall, little poopy, dude, just not where you want to be. But there is a version of you. If you do everything you want to do and you stay on the path that you know you could do, you stop saying what if, you start believing you can do it. All these mental shifts in your brain, which is for you to decide, not me, right? You will find your path. And all you have to do is just stay on that for, a year. A year can cause so much difference. Depending on where you're at, everybody has a certain distance from point A to point B. It could be, say it's right here to right here for this guy, right? But some people it's just this close because some people are luckier. That's the thing about life. Life's not fair, right? I grew up, and you'd never guess I would be healthy because I grew up fat, chubby. I didn't have good health habits, all this different stuff. I could have kept myself in that box telling myself those things, but I didn't, and I kept persisting, right? You are not a result of your environment. You're a result of your decisions, right? Your environment plays a big role, but your decisions can create an even better environment once you make the decisions, right? And you can have, this nice, handsome little guy, looks kind of like Clark Kent. Superman movie was goated, by the way. And you can have that first place medal that you always wanted. You could have a strong, healthier brain, mentally strong too, not just physically, right? And your stats, like your status will go up, right? You'll go to the beach and not be worried to take your shirt off. You'll finally get that girl you always wanted. All these different things will play into what you want. You'll finally make that extra bit of money you wanted this month. All this different stuff. Your growth will also go through the roof. See this graph, you will go up. All you have to do is have persistence, right? Ask yourself one question anytime you don't feel or do feel like doing something. Will this make me better? Will it make me better physically? Will it make me better mentally? Very simple, right? If I go to the gym in like an hour, right, will it make me physically better? Yes, because I'm going to the gym and I'm training myself. But there are downsides. You got to make sure you're doing it right. All this stuff. You can make it as complicated as you want, but overall, you will be better, right? You can ask yourself so many different questions. Will this, I did the one with the shake. I don't know. There's just so many things to determine if it's worth it, right? And I can guarantee this will help you phenomenally. Because remember, life isn't all about chilling out. It's not all about just relaxing, sit on the couch and scrolling, right? When you think about a memorable life, that comes down to memories and all the memories that shape who you made it. And think about memories, right? First are the best memories you have. I bet you remember the first time you drove a car. I bet you remember the first time you got your pet. I bet you remember I bet you remember the first time, let me think, the first day of your first job. All these different things, because they're first. You got to create new memories because it's worth it to have a memorable and good life. And this will lead to a lot better life compared to this. Trust me, right? I'm still working on it. But just remember, when you don't want to do that one thing itching in the back of your mind, when you don't really feel like doing it, I get it. Ask yourself, will this make me better if I do this here and now? And oftentimes, it's yes. So I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to give you a homework assignment if you made it to the end of this video. And this is a good one. It's not like, okay, don't like, oh, fuck, I got to click off now. I want you to close the door right now, wherever you're at. Go to your bed. I got this from Jordan Peterson, by the way. Go to your bed, sit on your bed, close your eyes, and just sit there for 10 minutes and ask yourself a question. What could I be doing? What am I not doing in order to get to where I want to go? And you're going to have an answer, and the answer is not going to be something you like. But it's going to be the necessary one in order for you to get to your goals. Trust me. It will change your life. You can change your life, right? If you stick through this video, obviously you can tell I'm a big self-improvement guru. So if you're interested in that stuff, feel free to check out my Instagram. I got plenty of short form content for you to munch on and other stuff like that, motivational quotes to just keep you in the loop. And I encourage you, when you have your media set to your environment where you want to be better, fulfilling. Like me, I want to be a better fitness coach. So I have a lot of fitness coaches around to help inspire me on my For You page if I ever happen to scroll for ideas or I'm just being lazy as shit. But anyways, I'm also a fitness coach. So if you want to change your life in 12 weeks, got a special offer going. I lost 35 pounds in 12 weeks myself. So you can do the same. So if you want help with that, hit me up. There's links down below. I love you. You're capable of amazing things and great things. I truly believe that in everybody. No matter where you start, no matter who you are, no matter if your legs don't work, you can do anything. I believe in you. Peace.